Think about the last big dream you had, something you were genuinely excited about, something that made your heart beat a little faster when you thought about it alone in the quiet. Now think about what happened the moment you told someone. Maybe they smiled politely and said nothing. Maybe they asked a question that made you suddenly doubt yourself. Maybe they listed all the reasons it would not work. And slowly, without even realizing it, the fire that was burning inside you started to go out. Not because the dream was impossible, but because you spoke it too soon to the wrong people. There is a science and a psychology behind why this happens. And once you understand it, you will never make the same mistake again. Daniel had been quietly building something for 8 months. He was working a regular job during the day and spending his evenings teaching himself video editing. He had a clear vision, a channel he wanted to build, a specific kind of storytelling he wanted to bring to the world. He had not told anyone because it was still fragile, still forming, still becoming real inside him. And then one evening at dinner with his family, someone asked what he had been so busy with lately, and he told them. The responses were kind. They really were. His mother said that sounded interesting. His brother asked how people make money doing that. His father said it was a tough industry. Nobody was cruel. Nobody laughed. But when Daniel drove home that night, something felt different. The vision that had been so vivid and alive inside him now felt smaller somehow, like a balloon that had lost just enough air to stop floating. He still opened his laptop that night, but the energy was not the same. The next evening, he found reasons to do other things. Within 2 weeks, the project that had consumed him for 8 months had quietly died. And Daniel spent a long time afterward wondering what had happened. What happened to Daniel happens to millions of people every single year. And the reason goes deeper than other people's opinions. Psychologists have studied this pattern for decades. When you share a goal or a dream with someone else and they acknowledge it, even positively, your brain receives a small reward signal. It registers a version of the achievement before the achievement has actually happened. Your identity briefly becomes that of someone who is already pursuing that thing in a recognized way. And because your brain has tasted a small version of the satisfaction, the urgency to actually do the work quietly decreases. You spoke it, and it felt real for a moment. So the hunger that was driving you forward softens just enough to slow you down. This is not a weakness. This is simply how the human brain works, and the people who understand this protect their dreams accordingly. Think about the greatest builders, artists, and creators you have ever admired. Almost none of them announced their vision at the beginning. They worked in silence. They built in private. They let the work speak before they did, and by the time the world found out what they were doing, it was already done or so far along that nothing could stop it. There is a reason seeds are planted underground, not because they are hiding, but because the early stages of growth are fragile and need protection from the elements. Your dream in its earliest form is exactly like that seed. It needs darkness and quiet and time before it can break through the surface and stand on its own. This does not mean you should never share your dreams with anyone. There are people in your life who deserve to know, people who will hold your vision carefully and add to it rather than take from it. But those people are rare, and until you know who they are, silence is your most powerful ally. There is also something else that silence does that most people never talk about. When you keep your dream to yourself, you are forced to face it alone. You cannot hide behind other people's reactions. You cannot use their doubt as an excuse to stop or their encouragement as a substitute for effort. It is just you and the work, and that kind of private accountability builds a relationship with your own discipline that shared goals almost never can. Daniel eventually started again. This time he told nobody. He worked on his channel for a full year without mentioning it to a single person he knew in real life. He built it in complete silence. He made mistakes with no audience to witness them. He improved with no one to congratulate him. And when he finally shared it, it was not a dream anymore. It was a reality, something already built that no one's opinion could threaten. His mother cried when she saw it. His brother subscribed immediately. His father said he always knew Daniel had something special in him. The same people whose questions had once deflated him were now the loudest voices, celebrating what he had made. Not because they had changed, but because Daniel had stopped needing their belief to fuel his own. The most dangerous moment for any dream is the moment just before it becomes real. It is fragile and unproven and full of possibility, and in that moment, the kindest thing you can do for it is to protect it with silence. Not forever, just long enough for it to become strong enough to survive contact with the world. Work in quiet, build in private. Let the results do the announcing. Because a dream that has been built in silence arrives in the world already unbreakable, and nobody, not the doubters, not the critics, not even the well-meaning people who love you, can take from you what you have already finished. Guard your dreams, not out of fear, out of respect for how much they matter. If this story spoke to something inside you today, please share it with someone who is quietly building something right now. Subscribe for more stories and life lessons every week. And drop a comment below telling me something you are working on in silence right now. I would love to know. Keep building. The world will find out when it is ready.